Welcome back, everyone. John Schlumbaum, Putnam County Commissioner, is with us today. We're looking back on this 2021, which, I think everybody will admit it was a challenging year. And we've talked a little bit about it, trying to make sure everyday duties and budgets and hearings and trying to do everything for the people. And then you have a pandemic that kind of throws a wrench into things. How did things go when you look back on this year and trying to get through everything?
Yeah, in all, it really went pretty good, Jeff. 2020 was a lot worse for us. I mean, we had a lot of the things going on in the courthouse. You had to make an appointment to get in to do it. And I mean, we were open to everybody, but you had to have an appointment. 2021 was a little bit normal for us. I mean, we just moved forward with it, and the budget went good. We had mid-year, we had to adjust some wages and stuff because we discovered we had some pretty good disparities in some of the wages, different offices and stuff. So we worked on that, but I think that went pretty well. Trying to figure out for 2021 how to spend the American Rescue Funds, the ARP funds, and we're working through that. So tried to give some of the money to the local fire departments, things like that, and that's kind of limited what they can spend it on. But we're working through it and trying to help everybody out with this money.
And you guys are like a lot of commissioners, and I know that you're kind of doing that as cautiously as you can because there are quite a few rules about how you have to spend that. The thinking seems to be that let's not jump into this real quick because we might mess something up and then have to come back later and rescind that money.
Yeah, and we learned that through the CARES money that we got in, what was it, May or June of 20. They changed the rules as time went on to make it easier to use, and we're kind of hoping that they loosen things up a little bit with this American Rescue Plan money. But the CARES money was more administered by the state. This money now is strictly on the federal level. So as the wheels turn, the bigger they are, the slower they turn, and nothing turns slower than a federal wheel.
That's very true. One of the things we had talked about in months past was the event center that you're planning for the fairgrounds. Give us an update on where you're at in that process.
That's come along pretty good. We have actually a meeting here in a couple of weeks with the architects and the fair board people, things like that, to try to move forward. They're going to update some drawings. We gave them some ideas. I actually met with the people in Hancock County. They put one up a couple years ago, the Old Millstream Center, and it's very similar to what we're doing there. And they gave me some really good input on what to do, what not to do, and things like that. So I incorporated that with the architects, and so they're going to change plans here there a little bit to update them. So we're meeting with them, and hopefully we can move forward real well with that project.
Yeah, I love that idea, and I know you guys have talked about it before, and the idea of transitioning a fairgrounds to what we traditionally think of. Okay, each year you have the big fair there, and you might have some other events scattered in, but you really do want to make that an event center and kind of a showcase, don't you?
Yeah, we really do, because there is a need, I think, for another hall in Putnam County. Plus, we had to use the KSC building for our shots for the pandemic, for the vaccination center. And this is something that, we have control over. We can use it when we want it for that type of thing. We have to quarantine people, we could use it for that. A shelter, if we have a disaster somewhere in the county, we could use this as a shelter for people to stay in temporarily. So it's got a lot of potential uses.
When you look ahead to 2022, are there things that stand out as far as goals? I know you mentioned safety services, you're kind of limited there, but anything that stands out on the agenda?
I think one of the biggest things that I'm concerned with is inflation. We just don't know where we're going with this thing. And they finally came out and said, yeah, there really is inflation. It's not transitory. There is inflation. So I'm a little concerned about that with the wages of our employees moving forward. We got great people that work for us, and we want to treat them right. And so, the wages and just the budgetary items, the hard costs, paper, pencils, desks, that type of thing. Where's all that going? Our ambulance, our DMS just ordered a new ambulance because that cost was going up another 6 or 8% of the first year. So they wanted to get that order in to lock that in, and just, police cars and you name it, and everything's going up. So it's always harder to keep up with things when I'm old enough to remember the 79, 80 years, the double-digit inflation, and the freezes that the government put on things. You weren't allowed to raise prices and stuff. So
yeah.
that's a tough time to live in.
Yeah, it's tough, as you said, man, to get your budget together when everybody's watching the purse strings. But, John, hey, we appreciate the recap, and good luck in the next year.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
You bet. Nice chatting with you. We'll be back right after this.